Our body is meant to go weeks without food. Do you think after one day, the body is going to start to shut down and not have enough energy to proceed? How would we make it those next 2 weeks? However, the body can only go 2 days without water before you start to really shut down and not be able to operate. That's why when you fast, aka when you sleep and you wake up, you've just gone on a 6 to 10 hour fast, depending on how long you slept and depending if you drank water immediately before you went to bed. Now, think of that. 2 days you start to shut down. That's a third. You're a third of the way to death every morning you wake up. That's how important water is. That's why when you go into the afternoon and you don't drink enough water, you have this starving feeling because you're a third of the way to dying. You need water. You're not hungry. You can go weeks. You're not even a tenth of the way of dying when it comes to food, but you're very close to dying when it comes to water. It's scary, but it's very true. No one can go 2 to 3 days without water without having serious life-threatening effects. Okay, now let's talk about water. Most people would be considered clinically dehydrated. People simply don't drink enough water. Let's see if this sounds familiar to you. You go to bed, eating a snack. This spikes insulin, depletes our water via digestion. You wake up and have coffee, dehydrates you even more because of the caffeine. Keep in mind, you're in a fasted state. Sleeping is a fast, and upon waking up, no matter how much water you had the day before, you will still be dehydrated. After that, you eat breakfast before your stomach hurts because you've mistaken hunger cravings for dehydration cravings. Eating halts the fat burning process and dehydrates people even more. By now, you're clinically dehydrated. You're tired, hungry, depressed, experiencing pains in your stomach, even though you just ate an hour ago, confusing them for hunger pains so you might have another snack. You may supplement with an energy drink to get a boost, the caffeine dehydrating you even more. You're lucky if you get 2 liters of water a day. The cycle continues as you drink just enough water to get by and continue the vicious circle. Luckily, there's an easy solution. Drink 4 to 6 liters of water a day, with the first 2 liters being drunk in the first hour of waking. Gauge this based on weight. If you're smaller, drink less. Do not eat breakfast. Instead, water fast. And when you break fast early, have preferably a low carbohydrate, high protein, liquid shake with omega-3s in it. If you must eat, have a meal that's low carb, high protein and fat, something like eggs or a piece of chicken. This will be the best route to go as you want the food to be as easy to digest as possible so we can save the maximum amount of energy for what we really need it for, working out, building muscle, and burning fat. A personal side note on this. When this happened to me, I made the mistake of thinking it was overactive acid in my stomach because that's what the pains felt like. They felt like acid was literally eating the inside of my stomach lining. This is maybe the worst thing I could have done because 9 times out of 10, this is just simply dehydration if you haven't been properly drinking enough water. I started taking antacids because I thought this would fix my acid problem. That is really bad because if I had normal acid levels, now I'm blunting my what were normal acid levels, making them below normal. Then I eat. My body cannot properly digest the food in a timely manner, leading to undigested food and incredible stomach aches. If I was to keep that up for a long period of time, I would have developed ulcers and ultimately it would have gotten very bad. A common complaint I hear is after I eat, I feel full, I feel like I'm gaining weight, I start to feel pudgy. So after you eat and you feel pudgy, it's usually a sign of semi-dehydration. Even if you're drinking 2-3 liters of water that day, if you haven't been consistent throughout the entire week, you're going to find yourself retaining more water and you're going to have that sodium buildup. So when you are feeling that way, I suggest making sure you're consistent with your water and also make sure you're consistent with your cheat days and also your low calorie days. Try to be as consistent as possible with your diet. If you're supposed to eat high protein one day and lower the carbs that day, do that. If it's a workout day, wait till after your workout to have your carbs. Have your carbs immediately after the workout. Have your big solid meal, which can have some nice complex carbs. If you want something like hot chocolate, you can have that with this meal. But at night, you don't want to have anything like crepas or anything that's going to spike your insulin. Fast-acting carbohydrates is what I'm getting at. Because we want our GH to be as high as possible going to sleep so we can build the most muscle and burn the most fat while we sleep. It's very, very common. All it is water retention and too much salt, too much sodium. So if you really want to cut it back, I would cut back on the sodium, drink more water, and make sure you're sticking to your diet as well as you can.